Getting bigger and bigger.
I am like having to inch up to this microphone, people. My bump is taking over the studio.
I know, that's awesome. Though. You're how many? 3 months?
Well,
away?
so it's weird with twins because it fast forwards everything.
Okay.
So I am officially 28 weeks, and I have about 9 weeks left.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? I know.
But aren't you at the point now where you're like, get them out?
That is exactly how I feel. Yes, I
Yeah.
am to the point that every pregnancy thing that could happen to you is happening. So I am like, I remember like pre-pregnancy, I'm like, I'm going to wear heels. I'm going to wear two-piece. Oh, there is no way. The only way I'd ever wear a heel is, I don't even know how
You couldn't.
No.
You have swollen feet, yeah?
Everything, bro. I mean, like, everything is happening.
Your face isn't swollen, though.
You know, it's the angles and the filters.
Is that
yeah,
what it
if you
is?
check out my Facebook page, you're like, you look
nice.
okay. I'm like, yeah, it's all about filters these days.
I go back and look at my pregnancy pictures, and I'm like, whoa, you were a blimp.
That's exactly how I feel. I know, and we have a wedding 3 weeks after we deliver. So, and I'm in the wedding, so I'm like, oh my
You're
goodness.
going to be fine. Those
I
babies
hope
are
so.
going to come busting out, and you're just going to, like, melt it off. Because half of it's fluid.
I really am praying for that.
I bet you. I'll bet you anything. I'll bet you a big fat burger after those babies are in.
You know, and that's another thing, too, is you eat whatever you want during
Yeah.
pregnancy. And so actually health food is starting to sound really good to me again.
Oh, good.
So I'm like, I've
Good.
eaten all the Big Macs I can. I'm like ready to go back
I didn't
to health.
even discriminate. I just, anything
Yeah.
like thrown in front of me, I was like a ravenous tiger. You better watch your hands.
No, that's even watch your leftovers,
Yeah.
hide your fridges, you know,
Right.
because here comes Whitney. That's how I feel. Yeah, I know.
Completely can relate. So.
Well, I am so glad to be back here. You know,
Yeah.
the countdown is on, so we're going to introduce some fantastic women before these babies
Yes.
come, and then after, of course. But today we have Carlisa, and she's with Lupus. And I know people are like, Lupus, I've heard of that.
Right.
But she's going to explain what Lupus is, but she's actually with the organization Lupus. And you're the founder, everything. So welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you all invited me out today. With it being the end of Lupus Awareness Month, I like to get out as much as I can to get the word out about lupus.
Yeah, it is Lupus Awareness Month. Did you know that,
Yes.
Brooke?
Yes,
oh
I
my
did.
goodness, yeah. What is lupus? Because it's so vague. One of my girlfriends has it, and I've always wondered, like, because sometimes she's like, oh, it's my lupus interfering with life, and I'm like, what is it?
It's very confusing, yeah.
Mhm.
Please explain.
It definitely is. And even after I explain it, you're still going to be a little confused because I've been living with it for 16 years
Mhm.
and it's always new stuff every year. So what it is a chronic autoimmune disease. And all that means is that your body is fighting against itself every day. And that can affect different parts of your body. That can affect your skin. That can affect your kidneys, any organ, any muscle. We have a lot of pain. I have quite a few people that's in my inner circle who have even had to have chemotherapy. And a lot of people associate that with cancer, but people with lupus, because it's so many things that's going on with our body, we have to use what people have and doctors have set aside for these other ailments to treat what we're going through.
So there's not a specific drug or treatment to treat lupus, in other words.
Well, 3 years ago, they finally came out with one medication that is specifically for lupus, but lupus has been around forever.
And what does this drug do? Does it it's not a cure-all, is it?
Not by far. And many of us don't even want to take the drug, like with the side effects that it has from it.
Of course, there have to be bad side effects, yeah.
So some of the typical things that we're on daily, so a lot of pain medications, because we have quite a lot of pain. Inflammation is a big part of lupus and what is happening in our body. If something is hurting, if something messes up with our kidneys, heart, whatever, it's typically because of inflammation.
Okay.
So we take a lot of anti-inflammatory medications. Plaquenil is one of the really huge ones. We were just talking a little bit before we started the show about prednisone and other steroids. Those are a major part of our treatment. And
Because it just relieves. So it's just, it
Yeah.
sounds very painful. And
It
do
is.
doctors have to customize kind of what the treatment is for each person?
each person is different, and all of our medications and our treatments are customized to what we're going through, and not just for our lifespan, what we're going through that week or that month. So it's
So
very
it changes.
difficult.
So you could have an issue with your joints this week and an issue with your heart.
Definitely.
That's, I mean, it's
So
just,
with me, within my 16 years, a lot of big things that have been going on with me were a lot of issues with my kidneys, a lot of issues with my heart, having the inflammation around my heart, and then joint pain and swelling, especially since I've started my own business, because I know you ladies know, kind of being up on your feet and things like that.
Oh,
Stuff
yeah.
that everyday people can do without any problem, and they can just have a little rest.
Yeah.
It takes me out for like 3 days.
Does it go into remission? Does it? Is there like
It
a time that you're
does.
like, but you? So it does go into remission.
It goes in remission, but if you've had it, you always have it.
That's what my next question was. It's never like you're cured from lupus.
And can you
Exactly.
be in remission for years and years and years?
Yes, because my mother has actually been in remission for quite a few years. They don't say that it is a hereditary disease. And when I was first diagnosed, the doctors at the University of Chicago and everybody were very fascinated with the fact that it was 3 people inside my household who had been diagnosed. My mother, my older sister, and then myself was diagnosed with lupus. So they were like, oh my God, we want to do
Like
testing on you all. But now, it's a lot more prominent where if you are diagnosed with lupus, if someone else has not been diagnosed, it's 10 times more likely that someone will be diagnosed that's in your family.
So
who
you
has
get
lupus.
you get diagnosed with lupus. You've been dealing with it for 16 years. How did you start Lupus?
I started lupus in 2011 after I had a year of nothing but kidney problems.
Okay.
I had back-to-back hospital stays, and then where I had to have PICC line put in my arm, and I was doing IV
Oh my
medications
God.
at home, and I was doing all of this with a 4-year-old, married, and I used up all my FMLA, and I was out and I was looking for help, help with bills, help with someone to talk to, and it wasn't a lot out there for me. And with myself always being that person to give back, I had always worked with organizations for lupus and helped raise money, especially, from the jobs that I had and the people that started connecting with me and seeing my struggle. I raised a lot of money for lupus research, but it was nothing out there to actually give back to the individual with lupus. So that's how Lupus was born. I wanted to give back to the individual with lupus when they're going through those flares. That's what it's called, when we have those times when we're really sick and can't do what normal people would do.
What's amazing is some people are doers and some people are whiners, I've learned.
Right,
and you're
right.
a doer because you
definitely.
realize there's a need
Yeah.
that needed to be filled. And
Yeah.
there was a need for people with lupus to have like outreach and to understand they're not alone. And I just think that's beautiful whenever people take their own personal trials and maybe some area that they were lacking or where they needed help, and they turn it into a good story like this.
I
Like,
love it. I love it. And every time I run into an obstacle, I'm like, okay, if I ran into this, somebody else have ran into it before me, or they are going to run into it. So what
Yeah.
can I do so that someone doesn't have to go through what I went through before?
Yeah.
that is awesome. So what events do you have coming up? Because
So
this is your month, girl.
I love it. I love it. So I've been doing everything this month. I've been all over the place. On May 29th from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Southside Community Arts Center, that's 3831 South Michigan, we're doing our Lupus Expo. This is the 3rd year I've been able to do this. And what we're doing this year, we're putting a different spin on it. I reached out to lupus survivors who have started their own business, because it's something that definitely becomes a part of our lives, having to go out, start your own business, make your own money, because we don't look sick, and you will hear that a lot about the illness. You don't look sick. It's so hard for people to believe what's going on with you, and for us to get approved for things like disability and things like that. So we have to take it upon ourselves, and we have to still take care of our families. So I invited people out, other lupus survivors who have businesses, to set up shop for people in the community to come out and support their businesses and know that they're doing this.
That's really,
really
great.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. So we have lupus survivors who are going to be out, and then we have supporters that are coming out to pamper the lupus survivors.
Oh,
we have people coming
I
out
love that.
that are going to give free facials, waxings,
Now, do you
manicures.
need lupus to attend? Do you need lupus to
No,
attend? Okay,
no,
great. Okay,
no. We definitely
I was like, I'm there.
We
Manicures,
want
pedicures.
we want everybody to come out and support, to
Okay.
meet the lupus survivors. We definitely want you ladies. If you're free Sunday, definitely stop by. And my other business is Purple Ribbon Shelf, because Purple Ribbon is for lupus. So I'm gonna have food out there, cupcakes.
Oh, you're speaking to the prego now.
Yeah.
You just
say
mentioned
cupcakes.
food, you're in trouble.
I'm there.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be a great event. And so May 29th, we're looking to end Lupus Awareness Month with a bang. Everybody
Yeah.
come out, enjoy, meet lupus survivors, support us, support what we're trying to do, and growing lupus. That's my main goal in all of this.
How many people, have you just had tons of stories come in about lupus? Like, is
Oh
it
my
kind of
goodness.
incredible to see how many people are out there?
And it's so encouraging, and sometimes it kind of makes you feel bad and you think your story is bad. You know, this past Sunday, we had Sharita Joe Presents Walk a Mile in My Shoes, where we did a fashion show where each of us told our stories in different segments in this 2-act kind of stage play. And to just hear the stories and what we have all been through with lupus was amazing. And a lot of those ladies are going to be out this Sunday. It would be amazing for you guys to come out to meet us, and hear our stories.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you both for dropping by, and I do want to remind everyone that the new season of the Whitney Reynolds Show
Yes.
has started.
It is out. We are taping for the fall. The spring is airing. We are in
Great.
full season, Brooke, so I'm loving it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we're out of time, so I want to thank all my guests this week, and I hope that everyone has a great Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you again next week here on The Weekly Show.
Bye.